I have the pettiest beef with with Pointy Hat. The pettiest beef. I know I'm going to sound like a fucking mad woman. I know this. But this time I actually have proof. I've written down proof. Pointy Hat and myself have made the same ideas on 4 separate occasions. I forget the third one, so I don't know. I don't have written down proof, or written down proof that I'm willing to show, but the first time, he made a video in which orcs were plants. I have been writing down my own world building, my own fantasy world, where orcs are plant people. Different flavors. His orc people are basically like the original version from the orc god in D&D. Well, mine are literally you take a plant, you make it into a person, and that's what the people called orcs. Slightly different. The second time was adding in MMORPG tactics into D&D to help engage and make it so that players move around and make combat a bit more dynamic. I did this in one of my own games, my own D&D games, in which there was an enemy called the Diviner. I was experimenting with this, who had a bunch of fire powers, and he would rain down lava from above and would cover the field in lava. But this third one, I forget the fourth one, I forget the third one, but the fourth one, the number 4, the pinky one, I have written down proof. This is also, this is absolutely meaningless drama. I feel like I am discount Pointy Hat. I genuinely, it's not a genuine feeling, but it's like, this is the 4th fucking time we have come up with similar ideas. The 4th fucking time. Yeah, in my game, Goof Gore and Guns, there is a thing called, I have a bunch of different debuffs and buffs. I've categorized them, but the ones that we need to talk about are the overpower buffs. Overpower buffs are, for example, something like overpower bomb. They all have the name overpower, a thing, and then a number. Overpower bomb 5, for example, is you point at an enemy, you say, you fucko, you are going to have overpower bomb 5. This means that every time you take damage, the overpower bomb is reduced by 1. So it'll go to 4 to 5, 3. When it reaches 0, it triggers whatever the effect is. So if it's overpower bomb, you blow up and you take a bunch of damage. And people around you take a bunch of damage. Replace the bomb effect with anything else. Overpower Scrungle might turn you inside out. Maybe there's Bleach, which will reduce your armor, or something along those lines. The idea is you are pointing at an enemy and you're going to send to your allies, that fucko, kill that fucko. Because the idea is, in my game, is that everyone is working as a cohesive unit. So I want to try to make abilities that encourage players to work together. In D&D, I find that players are individuals fighting the same guy, and it just doesn't feel like you're a team. So that's what I'm trying to do with my game. In Pointy Hat's most recent video, he has made something called formulas, which is, as he explains it, I haven't looked at it properly yet, because I am rage-induced. No, not really. I am a silly little girl who does silly little things, and I like to be a little gremlin. So no, actually not mad about this. This is just really fucking funny. And how he describes it is that the words is formulas. You have an abstract and a perfected version. Basically, a bad version and a good version. Well, a bad version. No, you have a version 1 and a beta version. And there is, you point at an enemy and you give them a debuff. When you deal enough damage to them, they get a debuff. For example, if it's formula bomb, you point at a guy, you give them a bomb. If you deal enough damage to them, the bomb explodes. If you do more damage to them, 2 bombs explode. That is kind of the idea from my interpretation of watching the video, which is suspiciously similar to my overpower debuff type, which you can look at my itch page because it's fucking there. I actually have this written down and have the date written. I can now thoroughly say that Pointy Hat is in my walls stealing my ideas.